What you are alive?
Hello, hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Esther Ria Olowokere, and I welcome you all to this live streaming for today. We'll be discussing, I will be looking into um we'll be looking into what we are to know before saying yes. Before saying yes, I do. There are a lot of things we need to consider and we need to look into. So we'll be looking at some things, and um, we'll also want others, people that will be listening, that will be here, to also contribute their opinion on what they think we should look forward to before saying yes to a guy or to a lady. So it's in two parts, to a guy or to a lady. So today, a lot of persons consider a lot of things before going into a relationship or before saying yes for a better suitor to marry. And we all say this because of what we think of, or what we are thinking of, or what we think we should do or in our life. So, for example, ladies, some ladies think of how resourceful the man is, material things, how expensive how rich the person is, the house, the car, what the person has in total. And some look after the handsomeness of the guy, the six packs, the broad chest, the big arms, the curly hairs, and also a lot of things. A lot of people will think about or will look into in choosing a life partner. Also, some guys also look at how chubby a lady is, the kind of coffee she has. Some guys also look at how the lady, maybe how the lady is resourceful. You know, he doesn't want someone that will be a liability to him. You understand, in future. So some ladies would go with how resourceful the person is. Some guys will go with how resourceful the person is, while some guys will go with how the shape of that person's. So, but I think, what do we think we should go along with when we are choosing a life partner? I want us to also drop our comments, and if you would call in, you can call in into my number. I will drop the number at the inbox, the message box now. So you are going to see my number that you can call in through in. I welcome you all, everyone that has come online to join me on this live stream. I welcome you all. I welcome you all. I welcome you all. So, the first thing I think we should consider in choosing a life partner, or before saying yes to a guy or to a lady, first is, number one, is knowing them. If you don't know someone very well, that is why it's not like you can't get married knowing someone after 3 months. But it is always good for us to give time to everything we'll be doing. Like, give it time to know them better, give it time to understand their own kind of person, give it time to know their likes and dislikes, give it time to understand their own kind of personality, temperance, know what they get angry, that get them angry, what would get them pissed off. Their kind of persons, not only their kind of persons now. Know if that person has a father or a mother, know the kind of person they are, know their family. If we trace back in 10 decades or 10 years down, 20 years down, or let's say 30, 40 years down now, before one person can say, okay, I want to marry from this family, or during our fathers, they would go send someone to go and investigate that kind of person. Not only the person now, their family lineage, to know if their kind of illnesses, their kind of things they practice in that lineage, to make sure that their daughter or their son won't fall victim of entering into bad family. I hope we are getting. So there are some things, like I said, you need to know that person very well, knowing their personality, knowing everything. So this would attach to knowing this person, if the person is emotionally stable. If the person is rich, if the person is handsome, you get to know this person, but this person is not emotionally stable. You know that every time you get to have emotional issues, breakdowns. The person is not consistent in their ways. They change plans. A lot of things would happen when this person is not emotionally stable. Also, self-esteem. You should kind try to know the kind of person you will be going out with before you say yes to that person. You should know if that person is esteeming in his or herself. You should know if that person has self-love. Self-love and selfishness is two different things. Some people misunderstood what selfishness is and what self-love is. Self-love is when you love yourself and from the fullness of the love you give to yourself that you have for yourself, you breathe it out to others, not expecting anything in return. But selfishness is everything should be about yourself, everything should be good for yourself, every good thing should come to you. Nobody else should be good like you, nobody else should make it like you. That is selfishness. But self-love, you have that love, you want to make it, you want others to make it too. You want to be blessed, you want others to be blessed too. You see a way of making others being blessed, you also open doors for those people. So why I said you should look forward to someone that has self-esteem is because a guy that doesn't esteem his or herself, or that doesn't have self-esteem, are those men in marriage that when their wife gets more richer than them, then they get jealous, they quarrel with her, they try to make everything to distract her. That's why I said you should look forward to someone that has self-love, that has self-esteem. Also, some women or some ladies that women, when they are married, that they don't have this self-esteem, they have low self-esteem. Whenever their man is doing well, they begin to get jealous, or a lot of things. So that's things I think we should look into before saying yes to a man or to a lady. So I'll be entertaining questions now, and I'll be entertaining some things before I continue, to know what you think one we should do, or what one should examine before you say I do. So I'll be listening, I'll be waiting for a question. Okay, I've not gotten any question yet, and I've not seen any call. So I'll continue. I'll continue. And I believe we have been blessed, and people that will be watching also after this will be blessed. So generally, before going into a relationship or before saying I do, most times we are in a relationship before we move into another. And something will lead to something before you say you are no more interested in the relationship before going into another. So whatsoever case it may be, either we like it or not, for you being with someone, either it is 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 3 years, 5 years, there are some things we have shared with that person. And whether we like it or not, we have some kind of pain in our heart, like odds, that this person, we are not in good time, so we call it off. So I need to look for someone else. So before accepting into go into any relationship, number one thing is to heal from past relationship. We see that a lot of ladies, a lot of guys, why they are still hurt in that their condition, their state of mind, they sweep into another kind of another relationship. They have not healed from that past relationship they are into, and they now start another relationship. For example, maybe alongside when the person broke up, the lady or the guy broke up from the previous relationship, along the side you met someone else on Facebook or Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, anywhere. Then the next thing, maybe the person started explaining, oh, how is your guy? Most guys, when they want to come in, that's what they will ask for. Oh, your guy is, I'm sure your guy must be beautiful. Your lady must be so beautiful. This, and then the person's okay. I'm not in any relationship. And most times, especially when it is someone that has a lot of suitors. You don't give yourself time to heal from the past relationship before going into another relationship. And that kind of thing, it's so harmful that it will not help you to be stabilized in your current relationship. It might cause a lot of havoc in that current relationship you are into. So the number one thing and the most vital thing is that make sure you are healed from past relationship. You heal up from past relationship before moving into another relationship. And the second thing is that make sure you share same value. I believe we understand what it means to value some persons. We understand different people has their different values. For example, myself, I have different value from you, from people that are here. You have different values, what you place value on, what you place importance on. So we need to understand what we place our value on. You need to understand if that person also, you can blend with that person, even if the person is not having the same value with you. Another thing is that we should try to spend time with the person we are into. Maybe you have healed up years from your relationship before saying yes to enter into another relationship. Though someone has come as a suitor, you can accept to be friends. Be friends first before saying, okay, yes, I'm entering into another relationship. Friendship will help you to freely express yourself than saying, yes, okay, let's go into a relationship and marriage straight off. Most persons don't get to know each other better before going into marriage. Another thing is that in when saying after that, never compare your past relationship with your current relationship, because your past relationship is looking like what's happened in the past relationship, and now you're in a real relationship. Truly, you are not comparing, but before you say I do, make sure you understand what it means to continue in that relationship. And those are the things we should look forward to before you say I do. So, and another thing that we should also take as paramount is that there are 6 important things that we need to consider. 6 important things we need to consider when saying I do, that is expected to be in any kind of relationship. Any relationship should have those 6 vitals. There are vitals in the relationship. There are important things that should be in a relationship. If those 6 things are not complete in your relationship, then you need to slow down. Like my talk on red flags in relation, you need to slow down. You need to understand that you need these things in your relationship before you say I do. The first thing is self-love. I've explained the other time. You should understand self-love. When you love yourself, you'll be able to express love to others. That is the number one thing I've explained earlier. The second thing is respect. Respect is very important in our relationship. And if you don't respect others, or you don't respect someone you are in a relationship with, it won't help you to respect their values. The other time I explained value, respect will help you to respect their values. I don't know if the way I'm putting the respect will help you to respect their values and to accept them, because values are value makeup of a person. Values are what make up that person, what the person value, what the person like, what the person do not like, what the person puts much paramount on. Those things are what they value. And respect will help you to respect their values. So the third one is trust. Any relationship that is lacking trust is not a relationship you say I do to. For example, maybe you caught him in 1 or 2 times or 3 times with extra relationship affair, not extramarital affair, extra relationship affair, that he's dating more than you in that relationship. There's no trust, and you're like, well, I like him, and he's so calm and he's so gentle, but I don't trust him more. If you don't trust him in your relationship now, then I think you need to slow down. Like I said, if these 6 things are not complete in your relationship, you need to slow down to make sure that maybe you need to check well, because sometimes there are signals. There are some things that are signaling to us in our relation that we don't take note of when we are in courtship. And those things now become a red flag when we are in marriage, but then we cannot stop. Like I said in my previous videos of flags in relationship, the green light says go, the yellow light says slow down, while the red flag says stop. If you don't take note of yellow flag in your courtship or in your relationship now, and you said yes, it might be a danger sign for you, the red flag in the relation, in marriage, and then you can't stop anymore. So the next one is openness. If he's hiding something from you, or you are hiding something from him, then you can't say yes, you are not good to go. If he's not telling you all about his family, he's not telling you all about his work, he's not telling, though we ladies, we know how to investigation, we know how to ask a lot of questions to actually know that we want to know this person, to get deep with that person. If we don't get deep with this person, we don't know the person, or the person is hiding, we have this sense that this person is hiding something from us, then it is time for us to slow down again, because, or even stop the relationship, because there are sometimes you need to put an end to a relationship, to get hold of it again. Because relationship need openness of both parties. That is when you can know that person very well. That is when you can understand their personality. That is when you can know when she is moody, or maybe it's a time to, or anything. Openness is very, very important in a relationship, and it's very important before you say I do. So the next one is passion. What do I take passion in? What does he take passion in? You should know that your passion should intertwine with each other. It should enter well with each other. Then the last thing, which is the number 6, that is so important, is communication. We should understand that communication is a vital thing, that if it is lagging in a relationship, then you can't say I do. Like I explained in my stages of love and types of love, that there are some that are but there's commitment, but there's no intimacy, and there is no intimacy, and there is no passion, but there is only commitment. Where there is no intimacy, there's no passion, there's no communication. So communication is very important in our relationship. So uh, we should understand that communication is very vital. A relationship that there's no communication, go at speed, can't go forward, and it's a dangerous and can't go along with that kind of relationship. It's vital in that is understanding. If you don't, it still goes back to the kind of person. If you don't know them in person, you shouldn't say yes, I do. Don't get into it of going into marriage without saying I do because of vicinity, your siblings is getting around and you just be like, okay, like I then marriage is not something that I have a call. Let me pick my call. Hello, hello, my lady. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, madam. Oh, I missed the call. Okay, I'll check if it's a message I can so put into. So, okay, because hello, hello, I can hear you. Good afternoon, man. Oh, I don't know why the call is dropping. Okay, let's move forward. Um, so these are facts that now we'll be moving to facts. Firstly, I've talked about what we should look to before saying yes, I do, and now I've talked about six most important things that you should have in your relationship. Now we're going to inevitable facts about what. Okay, the call is coming in. Hello, good afternoon. I can hear you. Good afternoon. Okay. Okay, there's a problem with my phone. She can't. There's a problem. I can't hear her clearly. So let me check my messages. If I have a message over there. Mm, So I'm talking about inevitable facts about relationship. This fact I want to talk on. When you see them in your relationship, let it not stop you from saying yes. We've discussed about things you need to know that they must is a must to be in your relationship before you say yes. And now this fact I want to talk about is that when you see them in your relationship, it's something you can work out. It's not something you should now say, no, I'm not more interested again. Then you would not say I do. So these are also something you need to consider before you say yes, I do. The first thing is misunderstanding. Most persons will think if it is God's will or if this person is my rightful partner, then we should not have misunderstanding. We should not fight at all. In fact, we shouldn't quarrel with each other. This is a very big mistake. Um, Misunderstanding is expected. Like some will say, just like the teeth and the tongue does fight, they are in the same house, but sometimes the teeth will mistakenly bite the tongue and the tongue will feel the pain. But anytime the meat is coming, the tongue will taste the teeth will chew and they are enjoying it. Just because the teeth bite the tongue will not say, oh, I cease from being inside this mouth. I want to leave this mouth or so. So we should understand that misunderstanding is part of relationship. It helps us to know ourselves better. It helps us to buckle up on some things in our relationship because we are brought up from different persons, different background, different. We have different personality. We have different temperament. So misunderstanding will help us to blend, to compromise with each other, and it will help us to know ourselves better before saying yes, I do. So the next thing is that is inevitable is if you're in a relationship, you should try to So the next thing that we should inevitable fact is that we should understand that sometimes things will happen. I'm sorry for blanking out and coming back. I need to thank you very much for staying tuned. So we need to understand that we need to forgive and forget when we do say forgive and forget, but to forget things can't actually come easily. But until you truly forgive that person, now when other things happen, you won't get to mention that thing again. That's what it means that you forget. It's not like the thing has been wiped up from your memory. Like we can't wipe up things that happen from our memory. You get to remember things that happen when you are still in your teens, when you are still in school, in your institution. But those things, you don't feel bad again, like when it happened. Just like you see someone you've dated back, it's not like you are feeling bad again that, oh, this person left me. You understand? You are happy to see each other. You even greet each other as if you are related. So you need to learn how to forgive and forget if you want to, before you say I do. But if it is someone you are trying to forgive and forget and it's not coming, you just continue feeling this hurt, you can't say yes, I do. There are inevitable facts that are there. But if you can't forgive that, when the person does another thing, you remind him or her of what she did yesterday, even after she has apologized or he has apologized, to still kind of remind them of what you haven't forget. Forget means that you treat today's issue as fresh. Forgetting means that you don't refer to what has passed, is in the past. Forgetting means that you forgive and you forgive truly. So another thing we should understand that their inevitable fact is weakness. We should accept their weakness. Before you say I do, if you can't accept that person's weakness, then there's no need for you to say I do. You can't really say I do, because for someone to say I do, it means you accept their strength, you accept their weakness, you accept their temperament, you accept their kind of personality, you accept their family, you accept his mother, you accept his father, you accept the sister, you accept everything about him, even his height, his color, the way he dresses, though there is room for improvement. But you need to accept their weakness. Even if before you can help someone to be better in their weakness, before you can turn their weakness into strength, you must accept it first. Like, okay, this person, there's something that she does that I don't like. How do I need to help her? You have accepted, okay, you recognize that, okay, this person has this thing. So you now accept it, then you now look for a way to help that person out. Then during this process, remember and note that change is constant, but it doesn't happen that instant. It is constant, but it doesn't happen at that instant. There are some changes that happen at that instant, but there are some changes that you need to give it time. So when you accept their weakness and you're trying to help them to grow to strength, you need to give it time. Those are inevitable facts. You need to give it time for them to adjust, to really adjust. For example, you're in a relationship or in a courtship with someone that is, let's say, 35, a guy of 35, and you want to correct something about him. You can't expect you to correct it today. It's not like he doesn't accept it. Most times we ladies complain about this much, that he doesn't want to change, he doesn't want to change. It's not like he doesn't want to change. But the way we ladies can easily sweep, or like, let me say swap, or let me say change something, it might not be easy for a guy like that. And there are sometimes the way a guy will change of mind about a particular things. We ladies can easily have change of mind about that particular thing. So like I said, that as change is constant, we need to, all doesn't happen at that instant. We need to accept their weakness and we need to help them to grow their weakness into strength. There are some weakness that are even good. For example, when you see someone that's a guy that is a spender, or let me say a lady that is a spender, and the guy is not like he's stingy, but he knows how to calculate. You know that match, it is there. Okay, another person is calling in. Hello. Oh, okay. I can hear you. What? Hello, I can hear you, ma. What's happening today? I don't know what is happening today. I believe tomorrow will be better. I don't know what's happening with the network today. The network is like not it doesn't want me to pick a call. Thank you all that you are calling in. Please, if you it seems the network is somehow. Please, can you please drop your questions at the message, the live chat, so I will check it and I will talk about it. I don't know what the network is doing. So we should understand that we need to accept their witness. Like I said, and that there are some witnesses that are even good for couples. Like I spend too much, it doesn't spend much. It will help me not to spend too much. I will help him to spend sometimes, because there are some persons that when they calculate too much that they don't even spend for themselves. It looks like stinginess, right? But it's not actually stinginess. Everything needs to be calculated. So there are some strength that you can actually use for the betterment of that relationship. That is what I'm trying to drive at. There are some call coming in, but I don't know what's happening. I'll do better next time, and that's just it. So another inevitable fact is compromise, not change. C, not C. Compromise, not change. In a relationship, you should expect compromise. The guy should compromise to what the lady wants. The lady can compromise to what the guy wants, but not change. Like, you want someone to change totally. Truly, that sometimes some people change. Like, okay, I want to do this for you, even if it's for my own good. I'm doing it, but we should not, just like what I've said previously, should not expect instant change. But persons can compromise for the sake of okay, I got a question right now. The person that is trying to call in said, how long do I need to correct him? How long do I need to correct him? Actually, we can't stipulate a time to how long you can correct him. Like, I make an example that someone that has been doing, for example, if it's an eating habit, the person has been eating that way since childhood for 38 good years. So you don't expect that person to change in just a month. So we should not expect that that person should change within a month. There are some things that, like I said, change is constant, but it is not instant. It doesn't happen that instant we want it. Not all change happen at that instant. So as long as whenever we want to correct anyone, one virtue we should pray for, or we should put into note, is patience. There's nothing patience cannot do. When we have patience with someone, for example, I understand this question very well. For example, you are trying to correct someone how to dress. I'm using that as an example. Maybe the guy is not dressing well, or the man is not dressing well, and you are trying to, like, okay, the lady can dress very well. So you don't just, sometimes you don't need to say it continually. Okay, you said that I don't like the way you dress. Try to dress this way, dress this way. When you have been saying it and it's like it's not changing, there are so many ways where you can correct someone. You can also take those, maybe you love some shirts, some trousers, you go out, you see some beautiful ones, buy those ones you love. Every Monday morning when he's going to work, iron them and tell him, my dear, can you please wear this to work? You will look so handsomely cute in this dress. And when he puts it on, you see that gradually he himself, when he begins to hear compliments from the workers, oh, boss, you look so handsome this morning. Oh, boss, your dress color combination is very nice. Oh, this, oh, that. He himself will see more reason to change. The second day you do the same thing. The third day you do the same, or maybe you are going for an Owambe. you immediately you are planning for your own dress, you are also planning for his own dress too. And when it's time for that time, you say, oh, my dear, I would love you to wear this. So let's wear this so we can be nice. And when he wears it and people are giving him compliments, then you people, he's going to see that, okay, this is very nice and I need to change this. You understand? Sometimes when we need to change, we don't need to nag about it. We ladies, most especially, we women, most especially, it's not like it's an intentional something, but we think what we talk more about, they hear it. Men, most times when you talk, they'll say, okay, yes, I'm listening. But actually, maybe in 100% of what you've said, they actually add 20. Maybe next day, maybe some 2 weeks time, when you're not talking about it, they will be asking, when did you say that? You'll be like, ah. And I was talking that day, you said you. So sometimes we don't need to keep saying something. Sometimes we need to put action into it. If you are trying to correct someone about something, you need to be patient, and there are some things that it won't change. You just accept the person. That is when I talk about being accepting their weakness. You just accept it that, okay, this is my husband, I have to take him like that. Okay, this is my spouse, I have to take him like that. Okay, is the person I'm courting, okay, this is him. Because we are just unique. We are unique being. What I take, what I like, you might not like. That's why I said you would respect their value. Some of their values, sometimes their values is something we don't really like, or like all my examples are accepting each other. So that is how long you can correct him. That, I think I've tackled the question. We need to be patient, we need to accept them, and we need to also put in actions to help them to change. And lastly, we cannot underestimate the power of prayer. I'm not preaching here, but that is just the fact. We cannot underestimate the power of prayer. Anything whatsoever we want to correct, either in our spouse, in our children, in our friend life, anything, we should always remember to put it in prayer, in words. Lord, I want this thing to be changed. Father, I want you to touch this person's heart. Lord, I want you to make this thing happen in this person's life. And that, we'll see that what we human cannot do. He said the heart of the king and the chieftains is in his hand. So he has the power to change someone overnight, and the next morning, the person will give glory to the name of God. So the next one I'll be talking about, that they are inevitable facts, is assumption. It's a fact that assumption is comes up in relationship. We assume, but when you have too negative assumption about someone, then you shouldn't say yes, I do to that person. When you begin to assume, okay, maybe he's doing this, maybe he's not saying the truth, it's better you ask. Like I explained, that the most important things, the last one I talked about is communication. Okay, I got a new question now, that what if you buy it and he doesn't use it? Okay, I have two questions now. Let me answer one first. They said someone said that there is a person that no matter how you correct that person, he will not change. Those kind of, though I'm not generalizing it, but I'm trying to see possibility of what might be happen. Sometimes when you correct some people, you bruise their ego. I mean it. So we need to understand ways in which we can correct people. It's so technical, and it needs the wisdom of God. Sometimes we don't need to make it sound as if we are correcting them actually. Sometimes we need to make it look like we are complimenting them, like you are, I don't know what words to use for that. Like we are complimenting them, like we expect them to just, I don't know, but we shouldn't make it look like it's a weakness of them, because when you begin to make them feel like they don't do it, they are not doing it well, they begin to feel like, are you trying to control me? Especially men that has ego. That is why I said you should understand their temperance. When you understand a man's temperance, hey, it will work like wonders. When you this temperance of a thing, I'm still going to talk on it on this channel, is when I begin to look at this thing, it's really helped me to relate with people. It will help you to relate with your husband, with your wife, with your children, because children also have their own temperance. when you kind of know if this child, if this your daughter is a melancholy, you kind of know what they would like to do. You will know how to correct them. You know, there are some children that you just need to call them, sit them down and talk to them. When you know they are temperance, you know that, okay, this one you need to talk to with them. There are some that you need to just stop them. They need one cane, just one. Their brain will reset to factory reset, or they will understand what you are saying instantly. But there are some, when you shout at them, you have scattered all their system. They won't even hear anything again. So when we understand each person's temperance, your friend, your husband, your wife, it helps you to relate with them more. There are some persons that when you correct them, it's like you are bruising their ego, you are making them feel bad, that um you are making them feel bad, like you are complaining about them. And men, any small thing, especially if you talk about something like this, you just talk about it. It's not like you are complaining, really, seriously. In your heart, you are just saying it. They will just count it as being nagging. So you are nagging again, you are complaining again, you like complaining, you like this. All we need to do is we need to learn. We ladies, we have work to do. And that is why we ask for the wisdom of God. We need the wisdom of God to know how to communicate to our spouse. If you are in a relationship, you need the wisdom of God to understand your partner. If you are married, you have kids, you need the wisdom of God to bring up your kids, because even twin, they don't have the same character. Talking less of two different babies, different time, different years. We need the wisdom of God to communicate with them. Teenagers, those ones are a new word entirely. You need the wisdom of God to communicate, to be able to deal with teenage, to help them, to a lot of things that we need to do. So next one I'll be talking about is okay, I want to check. There's a question that came in the other time. I want to quickly. Wow. That's why. So I read a comment now. Someone said you've been with someone for 31 years and it's just changing this year. That is how long it could take. That is how long change could take. That is why I said we should be patient. We shouldn't give up on them. Just like Jesus Christ didn't give up on some people, he still want them to come to repentance and all that. So we shouldn't give up on our partner, on our spouse. They will change, but we need to give them time. Just as long as they've started that habit. Like I said, some people get married at 30, they continually repeat that habit for good 30 years of the days of their life. We don't expect them to change in that month. We don't expect them to change in that 2-3 years. So the question I want to attend to next is, I saw that someone said, ask that, what if I buy it for him and he's not using it? It does happen, but don't get tired. Why I said don't get tired, you buy this, he doesn't use it, understand, you still buy another one. You keep reminding him in love, not in anger. Now, there are sometimes you get angry, like, that is how I bought this is for you, and now you're not using it, and now it's like, I'm just wasting my money. This out. It's like there's a way we can communicate in annoyance, and that shouldn't come up when you're trying to correct, especially an adult. Let's try to correct them in love, and let's continue to buy things for them. They themselves will have it in their mind that, this thing, I need to change it. And apart from that instance, let's make sure that we don't correct them when they do that thing. For example, is not, you buy something for them, like you said, maybe clothes. You want him to wear this kind of thing and he's not wearing it. Don't correct him. You just tell him, okay, can you please wear? And he's not wearing it. Don't talk about it. You might not even talk about it that day. Might be in 2 days' time. You might start like, my dear, we thank God for the grace he has given us for this marriage. In fact, I'm so blessed to have met you. And in fact, I'm so happy that you are my husband, or I'm so happy that you're my wife. And I'm so glad. I don't know if there's anything you want me to do that I've not been doing, that you just want me to change. Then yeah, those times, I don't know, it might be when he feels relaxed, or maybe when it is a family out time. Is in marriage, is not only the guy or the man, the man should plan in family out time. There's a time that we women, we can plan our own family out time with our husband only, not even with the children now. So we just need to cultivate this thing gradually. You know, it's not the day that most persons, let me use this as an example, it's not the day that you preach to everybody that the person will receive, that the person will accept Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior. There are some people, when you preach to them, that instance, they'll give their life to Christ. But there are some people, they will hear it from A, B will tell them, C will tell them. In fact, it might be just simple discussion that it's not like somebody's telling them one-on-one now, and they will now give their life to Christ. So like I said, change needs patience. We should just try any means of which we can use. So you can now chip in. Don't say that if you are correcting him or her. Just chip it in, like, I would just love you if, okay, I would like it if you can even use some of those things I bought for you. I love those things. I buy them with love. I bought them with love. It's because I love you, and I'm giving it to you with love. That is why I bought them for you. Not because you won't say like, I bought them because the combination you are using, I don't like them. I think you are getting me. You will not say because I've been correcting you to, you understand? You are taking another step now, like, and it is true. You bought them for him to wear it because you love him, and because you like, or you would love to see it on him. You know, there's no man I will buy this for except you. You are the only one I can gift without thinking otherwise. So I'm gifting you this dress. This clothes. I would like you to put it on. Or sometimes it might be when you are going out. From there, especially if you get them to wear it one Monday, and they get compliment from work, they will see that, okay, they need to continue to put on this dress, and they need to the clothing, and they need to wear them. All well said, all what I've said, all based on patience. Like I said, there is always testimony, when though the night might be long, but the thing will change. And if they did not change, or they do not change, let's accept them. It's just like what I've mentioned, accept them like that. That's okay. Because there are some weakness that person also has accept. It is your weakness. You will think the person likes it. It's not everybody that can voice out that I don't like this thing about you. So maybe he's also accepting some things about you. You don't know, you understand. That's why I said you can bring it up like a discussion. So, and if you have correct the person as long as you can, and the person is just changing, just accept it, that okay, is this so far? It is not that the person is humanizing, like that thing that the person is doing can kill the person, or if that thing the person is doing can is so harmful. With time, we should give them time. But if it's those harmful thing, like the person is drinking, smoking, extramarital affairs, take it to God. There's nothing God cannot do. I tell you, my sister, you just try it. There is nothing he cannot do. You just settle it on your nails. Women are war women. They settle a lot of things on their nails. So you can settle it on your nails. So before you say I do, you must be able to, you must put all these things in consideration. I'm going to repeat it again because of our time. We have 10 minutes more. We must be able to trust each other, respect each other, be honest. You must be able to support each other. You must be able to identify their values, and you must respect their values. There should be effective, good communication in that relationship. Then you should marry someone you can play with. That's the last thing, not someone that is too serious. Every time the person is serious, every time the person is serious. Someone you can play with, someone you can tap the ball, someone you can beat the chest, someone you can that will make you laugh. Because if you don't marry someone that you can play with, someone that can make you laugh, maybe you have spent 30 years of your life before getting married, and you are still going to get to 100 years. That's a 70 years of not smiling. That's too long. So before you say I do, make sure that this person is making you happy in one way or the other. this person makes you smile one way or the other. The person might not be a clown, but there are some things that you would love about that person. This person is something that you love. Apart from the physical attraction, there's this thing that you just love the uniqueness of that person. So the person must be able to help you to grow. So before you say I do is what we've discussed today. So before you say I do, you need to understand the kind of relationship you are into. I've explained types of relationship here. I talked about friendship. I talked about no love. I talked about factual love. I talked about I talked about plenty of types of love here. So you must know the kind of relationship you are into. Romantic love, factious love, all this love, you need to know the kind of love you are into. And the one I talked about that we should all be and we should be into before you should be in that love before you can say yes. That love, there must be intimacy. Intimacy becomes stronger when there's effective communication, good listening skills, good interpretation of communication, like you can interpret what the person is saying correctly, no assumption, then good body language, then you can reply to what that person says. Then the next thing, that is very vital, good listening skills. So to understand things, so understanding the kind of relationship you are in, there should be good effective communication. That is intimacy. There should be passion. You should be physically, emotionally drawn to each other. um like I said, in my God's will or knowing God's will, sometimes at the onset you might not have passion in that person, but as time goes on, you develop some kind of passion of attraction towards that person. And the third one is commitment. In any relationship you are into, you must be committed to that person, you must have passion for that person, and there must be intimacy. When there's these three things in a relationship, combined with those six vital things I've mentioned, then you are good to go to say yes in that relationship. So briefly, I would quickly mention these things. I have 7 minutes to go. To recognize that you are in toxic relationship, that one is a red flag. You need to just stop it. Number one is insecurity. If your partner is insecure, they are always getting scared of losing you. They are always not getting scared of losing you like that. They are always thinking that maybe you are dating someone you are chatting with. They are always accusing you of having another partner. They are always questioning you of who you are chatting with. They look at your Instagram, look at your Facebook, monitor your chat, all these things. Yeah, this is insecurity. It's a danger sign. A lot, this thing has led to men beating their wife in marriage, even beating them to death. Sometimes maybe someone is just talking to someone at work. You see that person as a rival, and the person beat the wife, and you think it is person is having extramarital affairs. There are some instances that some women also think their husband is having extramarital affairs, that they begin to monitor the man up and down, that she had an accident where she was running up and down to monitor if the man is actually having an extramarital affairs. Insecurity is not, if you are insecure, you are feeling insecure about someone, you can't go, you just need to stop that relationship. Another thing is, if someone is self-centered, everything is about me, not about you. It's not even thinking about you. In a relationship, it should be we, not I. That is part of self-love. When somebody loves you, when somebody has self-love and has self-esteem, the person will be talking about we always. Apart from romantic relationship now, even friendship, the person will be talking about we, not I. So self-centered person should solve that self-centeredness before saying I do. The next thing is dominance. There are some kind of, these things happen mostly to men. They like to, some guys, because of their ego, they like to dominate their woman. And this is a no for you. If he's dominating you now, he wants to know all your how much you collect in salary. Even you are not seeing his commitment already, but he wants to know your amount you collect on salary. He wants to tell you when to go out, when not to go out. He wants to just dominate you without seeking your own opinion. Then it's a no. You can't say yes, I do to that person. There are some people, they are controller, they control you. all your activities, they control you. You can't say no to, you can't say yes to that person. Another person's ability to her, they will make you feel as if they are doing you a favor for being in a relationship with them. Some guys will be like, you better be happy. A lot of ladies, they are even wanting to be in a relationship with them. There are some ladies that does that too. They'll say, better be happy. There are some guys that, in fact, a lot of guys, they want me to be their girlfriend. You are here. They want to belittle you. You don't need those persons to say, yes, I do too. If you have them, you need to work on it. If you can't work on them, then you need to stop. It's a red flag signal in that relationship. Another thing is bad tempered. There are some persons that are bad tempered. Those kind of persons, if they do not control their temper in marriage, it can lead to beating, woman beating, backstabbing, and emotional violence in marriage. So you don't need somebody that has bad tempered or temperance. Even if there are some people that want change, that want to actually change, you need to take them to a psychologist. They need to know how and understand how to control their temperance when they are angry. Another person is users. They use you whenever they need anything, they ask you. Even this, apart from a romantic relationship, there are some friend of yours. I know some people will say, yes, it's only when they want to use it, they will know that they have your number. That is when they will call you. When they do, they cannot even call you on a good day and say, I just say, let me say hi, or how is everything, how is family, they will not call you. But when they need you, that is when they will call you, or when they are down, when they need to talk to someone, that is when they will call you. If you are in a relationship with someone like that, that only calls you when they are in need of something, they don't call you to just say hello to you, then you don't need that kind of person in your life. Over possessive persons, people that physically abuse someone, physical abuser, you don't need them. If he slaps you in a relationship and he apologized and he doesn't have a good reason for doing that, he does that 1, 2, 3 times, my dear sister, live love, let love sleep. Oh. You will cry for 1 month and end it. Oh. Just cry for 1 month now and leave it like that. Or go into the marriage and be crying every day of your life. Run. There are some ladies also beat men too, but it's there's a lower percentage compared to guys beating the ladies. Somebody that physically abuse you need to run from them. People that emotionally abuse you, assault, all those things. You can't say, yes, I do to such people. You need to run and end such relationship. Oh, thank you so much. We have come to the end of today's session, and it's so lovely, and I enjoyed myself. I hope you have enjoyed this session also. I thank you, Oluwan, um, home of good story. I might not be able to mention everybody. Queen Mabel TV. I appreciate and I celebrate everyone for this, for their time today. Caroline, I celebrate you. Desiree, you are wonderful. Let me say, I might not be able to mention everyone's name today, but believe me, I celebrate you and I say thank you for coming to join me today on this live stream, and God bless you. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for coming. Bye-bye.